until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Still got work to do, Sam. Let's not keep people waiting. Keeping on. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Sam, chiral crystals are pretty small and can be difficult to spot with the naked eye. I'd advise you to use your ultradeck to point you in the right direction. If you want to survey a wider area, though, you might consider building a watchtower and relying on its sensors.
Just a bit further now.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID.
Sam, chiral crystal deliveries are a little different from usual. The process is pretty simple, though. Access the delivery terminal to drop off any chiral crystals you're carrying.
Sam Porter Bridges.
Got some chiral crystals for us? These crystals only form in places with elevated chiralium levels, which makes me wonder if expanding the network had something to do with it. Damn, son. That is a lot of crystals. Maintenance and R&D will both get their fill, looks like.
Excess chiral crystals can be deposited at any facility. They'll be added to the stores held on site. These local stores include materials that you can draw upon to fabricate equipment as needed.
Oh, before I forget, this is for you.
That's container repair spray for patching up cargo containers. Good for dealing with timefall degradation and all that. Useful stuff if you and your cargo have been through the ringer. We've added it to your supplies list, so it's readily available if and when you need it.
BC.
There is a correlation between elevated chiralium levels and increased crystal formation. This may well be the result of the network's expansion. You needn't worry though, local chiral density is still within an acceptable range. If you find any more, be sure to collect it. You'll be well rewarded.
If you come into more chiral crystals, you can submit them at one of our facilities. And you can deposit other resources too, along with any items you don't need. Everything has its value. What we don't use as is can be broken down into components for R&D and other applications.
We've added a bridge schematic to your PCC. The first step is laying the foundation, after which you'll have to supply additional materials to finish the job. Plenty of rivers and canyons could do with a good bridge, you know. Take a stroll across one you built yourself, and I guarantee you'll be glad you made the effort. Give it a try.
Sam.
Okay, so just a little bit of explaining. What I just wanted to do really was just, well, we got some more interviews, I think, so I wanted to look at those more than anything, really. So, I don't know if it's given us a bonus or not, really, by using the shower and toilet and whatnot. I'm going to do it anyway, but I'll just edit that out. It'll just be doing all three of those, and then we'll go on and read the new interviews and everything we got there.
EX grenade number 1.
Oh, so it does do something. There we go. So we can restock our grenades that way. What about...
That should suffice. Glad to see everything's in good working order. Another of our new EX grenades, the number 1. So named because it contains a vaporized extract formulated from your urine. Compared to our first iteration, this EX grenade contains a higher concentration of your fluids, which should make it more effective against BTs. Whenever you avail yourself of your private room's facilities, we will collect the results and produce additional units for your use. So you needn't worry about running out.
Yeah, I agree, Norm. Pretty weird. Okay, so let's do this. So we're throwing up here at things, huh? Alright. No, I pressed the wrong one. Damn it.
EX grenade number 2.
The latest in our line of EX grenades. I give you the number 2. As you may have surmised, this model was produced with various extracts refined from your fecal matter. We suspect that your regular consumption of cryptobiotes has led you to excrete certain compounds that may prove especially effective against BTs. If you would like us to produce more, you need only furnish us with the requisite raw materials via your private room's toilet. I look forward to your feedback.
Hardy ha ha ha. I think after that I need a shower. Okay. Right, so what have we... Ooh, we've got quite a few. Okay, so we'll read these and then we'll be on to the next not city. So what have we got here? Necrosis, an ancient Egyptian view of life and death. With Hartman 3 years ago, British HQ lab. The Egyptians believed that we humans are composed of two elements, the Ha and the Ka. The body and the soul. Various texts expound upon their nature in detail, but perhaps it is simplest to conceive of them as follows. The soul is that which joins with the child in the womb and gives life to the body. It is also that which departs the body upon death, ergo the body is simply a vessel. Should the soul return to it, it will live again. This is precisely what is observed in near-death experiences, a soul separated, albeit briefly, from its body. The Egyptians believed death not to be an instantaneous change of state, but a process by which will moves from one realm to another. But this process itself has changed, thanks to the death stranding. In the normal order of things, when death occurs, the soul vacates the body and passes into the seam. From there it transitions to the beach, and only then onto the world of the dead. But after the stranding, a soul that has already made its journey to the beach may attempt to return to its body in this world. It was hard to believe at first, but the process of necrosis provided proof of this phenomenon that was difficult to deny. This is why it is imperative that we burn the bodies of the dead. The body must be destroyed to sever the link with the soul. Only then will the soul be free to journey to the world beyond. Yes, I mean, might be, well, Strand in German means beach, so it's a little connection there. So, chiral symmetry. With Hartman again, 3 years ago. These are all with Hartman, okay. Bridges HQ Lab. The word chiral comes from the Greek cher, meaning hand. Compare your left with your right. They seem similar in both size and shape, yes? Now face your palms away from you and place one hand over the other. Their shapes do not overlap exactly. But place your palms together and voila. A match. It is as if one hand is the mirror image of the other, but again, if you were to actually compare the mirror image of your hand to itself, we would see that the two are not identical. This is the essence of chirality, the state in which the mirror image of a shape does not match the original. It has been theorized that BTs are mirror images of ourselves. Were we to exist in the same point of time and space, our shapes, as it were, would not overlap neatly onto one another, save in reflection. And when our particles meet their opposites, a void out occurs. A new form of communication we have devised utilizes beaches, which are akin to mirrors reflecting this world and the other, hence the term chiral network. Chiralium, also 3 years ago. You would like to know more about chiralium? Well, wouldn't we all? I'm happy to present the latest theories, but you must be aware that this is all that they are, theories. Chiralium, like dark matter, was born along with our universe and has existed ever since, just not in a dimension we were able to perceive. Until now, it is the beach that gives us access to that dimension, and with it knowledge of existence. Not just knowledge of it, of course, we have since observed it coalescing into crystalline form and record immeasurable physical and mental effects of individuals exposed to it. It has reshaped our understanding of reality and proven instrumental in the formulation of the multiverse theory of beaches. Chiral matter is not affected by the passage of time. As far as these particles are concerned, none has elapsed since the Big Bang. Little wonder they escaped our notice for so long, until man and BT first came together in Void Out and left nothing but chiralium in their wake. Many of these claims are yet to be verified, but I believe that this is a fair summary of the scientific community's current consensus on the matter. No pun intended. I shall soon be heading west with the first expedition, and I look forward to learning more about chiralium and its connections to the beach along the way. Okay, this is the Chiral Network 1 with Mama. Central Knot City 3 years ago, before first expedition. So the core infrastructure is complete. The basic Cupid-ready chiral network setup is good to go. Now all we have to do is connect Central Knot City to Capital and prove that it actually works. Sadly, I won't be here to see it. I've been assigned to the expedition team's second group, so I'll be heading west with the others. But the people in charge here are the best of the best. They'll have the network operational inside 3 years, just as planned, I'm sure of it. And while they're seeing to that, we'll be visiting towns and whatnot across the country and putting the facilities in place for when things are finally up and running. Amelie and the others in the lead group will be forging the connections and laying the groundwork to make sure everything goes to plan. Afterwards, we'll just need to link it all up with operational Cupids. And that should be that. It's kind of like the Apollo missions back in the day. They used a 3-stage rocket to get to the moon, right? Well, we're using a 3-stage process to do something almost as revolutionary. And this is 2 years ago. Distribution Center West, Capital Knot City. Benjamin Hancock, 2 years ago. It's been about a year now since we came here with the rear guard. The first folks through did us the favor of setting up the chiral relay and patching things up before we arrived, so we're doing all right. Not sure about everyone else though. The folks back home sound kind of freaked out. We don't know what's going on in Central or Capital, let alone how Amelie and the others who kept heading west are doing. But somehow, that something doesn't feel right. What's more, a lot of the guys have developed some kind of agoraphobia, like the thought alone of going outside scares the shit out of them. See, the distro centres and way stations around these parts here aren't like the ones back east. They're much more isolated, out in the middle of nowhere. Can't help but feel cut off from the world, and there's not a lot of staff on hand either, which means you often have to do the work of 2 guys, which can make it that much lonelier too. And then you factor in terrorism rumours. Also, is it just me, or does it feel like there's more mules out there these days? Don't get me wrong, I know they're not out to get us, all they want is our cargo, right? Well, that doesn't change the fact that they're not making our work any easier, especially since a lot of these guys used to be first-rate porters and could run rings around us if they hadn't, Still, for now, the network systems are up and running and we're just holding out for the day when the second expedition comes through with a working Cupid. Till then, we'll keep things chugging along. That much we can do. For bridges and country, am I right? Okay, well, there we go. And then it's more tips and stuff. Okay. Right, so I think we're gonna... Well, let's go back up and we'll head on to the... No, take our next order.
Sam, mind doing me a favor? There's a bridge that needs building. Over a river, just outside that distro center. It's too deep to ford, and we'd like a long-term solution. The foundation's already been laid, and everything required to finish the job should be in storage. All you need to do is carry the remaining materials to the construction area, and use them to complete the bridge. If it turns out there isn't enough there for our needs after all, you'll have to come up with the rest on your own. I know you've got a lot on your plate right now, but remember, this bridge will make your life easier too. Now, you've done a fine job expanding the chiral network. But to make the most of it, we'll need to generate more power. We'll have to make a few hops before we can link up the closest city too. Once this wind farm is part of the chiral network, we'll be able to route the energy it generates through the beach. Unlike traditional transmission methods, nothing is lost. We can provide power to distant regions and utilize facilities there as electrical substations. You're to deliver a key component. Should be finished printing. Take it to the wind farm and get us in business.
Order assigned.